Welcome to the Positive Leadership app. My name's John Eatwell. I'm a chartered organisational psychologist and have 25 years experience in leadership development. I developed this app to help people look after their personal well-being and become better leaders. The app is divided into 5 key areas and can be used to develop your leadership and also to look after yourself and your personal well-being. If you just want to look after yourself better, then do the first 2 modules. If you're developing your leadership, then you need to do all 5 modules. In terms of leadership, the research over the last 100 years often focused on who we are, what traits we might have, whether you're being charismatic, emotionally intelligent, or what personality factors we may bring to leadership. However, the recent research really shows that a broad range of people can actually be effective leaders. And what matters most is what we do rather than who we are. In fact, being authentic or true to yourself, the research would say, actually makes you a better leader. This app will take you through 5 key areas of things you can do to improve your leadership impact. These 5 areas, if we focus on these, will increase the engagement of your people and will positively impact through that engagement on organisational performance, how innovative they are, how customer focused they are, and also these 5 key areas also underpin personal happiness, well-being and resilience. So by focusing on these areas, we can actually increase your personal happiness and well-being, as well as their happiness and resilience. The 5 key areas are looking after yourself. The second is developing people through their strengths. Then is creating a performance culture, building positive teams where people feel as though they can belong, and making people's work meaningful, helping them see that their work matters. So the first module is looking after yourself. And we know from the research how positive and engaged you are will have a huge impact on the people around you. If you're a leader, then this has a big impact on how engaged your team will be, how satisfied people are with their jobs, and how innovative and creative they are. If you're not a leader, it still actually impacts on how effective you are in the organisation. In fact, how positive you are is 4 times more predictive of your influence in the organisation than your position in a communication or authority network. And not only that, how positive you are impacts people to 2 degrees of separation. What that means is we can actually measure increases in happiness for people 2 degrees separated from you. So your kids' friends are going to be happier if you start looking after yourself. Your team members' partners will be happier, and family will be happier if you start looking after yourself as a leader. Leadership also requires a bit more effort from us. It's easy to tell people what to do, that's management, but if we're going to look out for what really makes people effective, to look out for good performance and recognise this, if we're going to spend a bit more time with people and engage with them even though we're busy, all these things actually take a bit more effort from us, and we need to be in a good headspace to do that. The other element of this good headspace is actually how do we prioritise important tasks. And we know, for example, if you don't get enough sleep, one of the first cognitive functions to drop off is your ability to prioritise. So we stop prioritising strategic tasks, we stop prioritising leadership and business improvement, and we focus on the tactical short-term things. So actually we need to look after ourselves to be in the right headspace to lead. And also actually starting to be a bit more aware of how we're looking after ourselves and how it impacts on our mood and effectiveness. That starts to improve our self-awareness as well. We start to realise actually I'm grumpy, or I'm not performing as effectively as I could because I didn't get enough sleep last night, not because this person is a bit more irritating than usual. So how do we actually start to develop that self-awareness? The second module is looking at how do we develop people. And this is the key focus of this session, is developing their strengths. Focusing on our strengths and the people of those around us has a huge impact on job performance, and also the confidence of your team. And that's one of the key aspects of leadership, isn't it? How do we build people's confidence? In fact, strengths focus has twice the impact on people's personal development than a weakness focus. So focusing on strengths has a big impact on their development. It's also a key part of authentic leadership. Research shows us that highly effective leaders have 4 to 5 strengths. They're not good at everything. And when you are aware of your 4 or 5 key strengths and you play to those, then people know who you are, and that builds their trust in you. We also know that actively, deliberately focusing on strengths helps build wellness, performance, and happiness. The third module we want to look at is developing a performance culture. People want to work in a high-performing team. They want to work in a team where they feel as though everybody is pulling their weight. As leaders, we need to make sure that people know what they should be doing, what their priorities are, providing them with feedback on what they're doing well and what they need to improve on. So this module will look at those key factors to manage performance. The fourth module is developing a team culture. People need to feel as though they belong at work and they want to come to work because of the people around them. As leaders, we need to focus on how do we create that environment? How do we create an environment that is positive? People feel welcome, they feel able to share the ideas they have, and they feel as though that their strengths are being utilised at work. We know that inclusive teams, these high trust teams, outperform other teams on a range of indicators, particularly around innovation, ability to solve problems faster and more effectively. The last module is looking at how do we make the work meaningful. And this is about helping people see that their work matters to the organisation, but also to the broader community. There are 2 elements to this. One is how do we create a line of sight between individual goals and the goals of their team and the organisation. And the second is reminding and connecting people to the purpose of the organisation. So why do you exist? What service are you providing to customers or the community? What value do you create? And how do people stay focused on that so that they can see that their job matters on a daily and weekly basis? So those are the 5 modules. Each module lasts 2 weeks. When you open the module, you'll be able to watch a video about the module, as well as there'll be a number of key actions or key activities that you can do within the module, and each one of those also has a video as well. You'll then get to set a plan on what activities you want to do or how you want to implement the key learnings. And also you'll get to say, do you want to be reminded to do those activities on a specific time or a specific day? So the app can actually remind you to do what you've said you want to do. And this is around really changing habits or introducing new habits into your work is hard. Our brain loves habits because basically it can power down when it's in habit mode to a pretty similar level to when you're asleep. And it likes doing that because the brain's a big consumer of energy. If you put your hands together, that's about the size of your brain. It's about 3% of our body weight, but consumes about 20% of our energy. So it loves the opportunities to power down. And about 42% of our behaviours on a daily basis are habits. So your brain is powering down during those times. So when we're trying to change a habit, of course, the brain now can't operate in habit mode, and it's powering up, which takes a lot of energy. So we have to basically look at how do we remind ourselves to do something different, and how do we reward ourselves and give ourselves a cognitive kickstart to do the new behaviour. So the key things to look out for are the cues. How am I going to remember to do this new behaviour, and to reward yourself with a piece of chocolate or a coffee or whatever else it is, or just a little micro celebration, but actually deliberately rewarding yourself when you do new behaviours or new habits. So those 2 things are the key to look out for. The app can provide you the cue, because if you set a reminder, it will bing and tell you when to do something. And then you have to deliberately not do it rather than have to remember to do it. And then, of course, you can actually reward yourself at the end as well about what you're going to do to celebrate the fact you have done the new behaviour. So for each module, you can go back to that module once you've passed it and complete extra parts or extra things that you want to do within it, or completely redo the module. You can't work forward faster though, so each module takes 2 weeks, and you can't work to the next module until you've completed the pre-modules. So I hope you enjoy the app, and I hope that it makes a difference for you and the people around you. Enjoy.